One of the things I work with frequently is the 5 behaviors of a cohesive team model. So some of you are familiar with Pat Lencioni, yes? Okay. For years I was calling him Pat Lencioni, but it's Lencioni. So I learned that this year. Yes. But at any rate, if you're not familiar with Pat, he has written at least 8 best-selling books, and most of them are business fables. So they're great stories, really, of how we want to ideally behave in organizational life, best practices, principles, etc. And the 5 dysfunctions of a team has been flipped on the positive end, and now, in conjunction with Wiley and the DISC model, they have created a program called the 5 Behaviors of a Cohesive Team. And essentially what it is not a training program. It's a series of facilitated conversations around which team really transforms. And I have used it a lot at senior levels of organizations, mid-level, and even on the front line. It's ideal, of course, to start at the top. But really what it's based on is a foundation of trust. And what's critical about the trust is it's not just predictive trust. Like, you know, I've worked with Lisa for years. I know how she's going to behave. I'm pretty comfortable. I know I can predict her behavior. It's based on this vulnerability-based trust. So I can really say to her, hey, you know, I'm not really comfortable here. I'm not sure I know what I'm doing. Or I made a mistake. Or I need your help here. Or I see that you need some assistance here. Can I offer that to you? Similar to what you were saying, Jonathan, right? So Jonathan was saying, you know, when his team catches him in his competitive mode, they call you out on it, right? And you have to have trust in order to do that. So that's when you get productive conflict, when somebody can say to you, you know, this needs to happen differently. And you can really talk about issues and talk about the ideas and get that productive juice going that we were talking about before, and really comprehensive solutions. From there, then you can get real buy-in, right? And I don't know about you, but you've probably seen on many teams either compliance or, you know, just sort of people checking out, as you were saying before, or people going through the motions but not really being bought in. So when people really can debate issues and they weigh in, they can buy in. And it doesn't have to be consensus necessarily, but if they feel heard and you really have listened to them, then many times they really will go along and give their best, right? And then from there, you can have accountability, peer-to-peer accountability, which is always the hardest.